Lightning cracked the sky, thunder roared, rain lashed down, turning the world into a blurry mess of darkness. On a hill, shrouded in fog, stood a house, a very old house. It was falling apart. Windows were boarded up, the paint peeled off like scabs. Everyone knew this house. It was the haunted house of Harmony Hill. Most kids avoided the place, just talking about it sent shivers down their spines. But not Sarah and her friends. They loved a good scare. Tonight, Halloween night, they decided to brave the house.
So who's chicken?
Sarah, the brave one, stood at the foot of the hill, a mischievous glint in her eye. Her friends Tom, Emily, and Ben exchanged nervous glances. They were all scared, but none of them wanted to admit it. Tonight was about proving their courage.
Not me,
declared Tom, puffing out his chest. He wasn't really the brave type, but he couldn't let Sarah think he was scared.
Let's do it.
Emily chimed in, her voice barely above a whisper. Her heart pounded in her chest, but the thrill of the unknown was calling to her. They started up the hill. The wind howled around them like a hungry wolf. The rain soaked through their jackets, but they pressed on. Each step brought them closer to the house, closer to the unknown. The closer they got, the more the house seemed to loom. It was like a giant, hungry monster, waiting to swallow them whole. The air grew colder, the shadows deeper.
Maybe this wasn't such a good idea.
Ben muttered, his voice trembling. He was already regretting this adventure. Sarah reached the porch first. The wooden planks creaked under her weight. The sound sent chills down their spines. She gave a determined push. The front door groaned open as if it hadn't been touched in decades. The stench hit them first, musty like old books and decaying wood. Dust danced in the faint moonlight that seeped through the gaps in the boarded-up windows. Cobwebs hung from every corner, thick and grey.
Wow.
Emily breathed, her voice barely a whisper. She was captivated by the eerie beauty of the dilapidated house. They stepped inside, their sneakers crunching on shattered glass and debris. Every sound echoed in the vast emptiness, amplified by their fear. A low moan seemed to emanate from the depths of the house, sending shivers down their spines.
Did you hear that?
Whispered Tom, his eyes wide with fear. They moved deeper into the house, each room more decrepit than the last. They found a grand staircase, its once polished wood now rotten and treacherous-looking. As they ascended, the railings crumbled under their touch. Suddenly there was a loud bang from upstairs. The friends jumped, their hearts pounding in their chests.
What was that?
Before anyone could answer, the floor beneath them gave way. They tumbled down, screaming into the darkness below. When they finally stopped, bruised and shaken, they realized they were separated.
Guys, where are you?
Silence met her words. She was alone. Panic started to rise in Sarah's chest, cold and clammy. She stumbled through the darkness, calling out for her friends, but only silence answered her. The air grew colder, the silence heavier, pressing down on her like a physical weight. Then she saw it, a faint glow emanating from the end of the hallway. As she approached, she could make out a figure, tall and gaunt, shrouded in what looked like a tattered white sheet. It floated, not walked, towards her. Sarah froze, her breath caught in her throat. The figure stopped in front of her, its cold, ethereal glow illuminating her terrified face. She could feel its icy breath on her skin, smell the dust of centuries on its unseen form. For a moment there was only silence. Then the figure reached out, its spectral hand hovering inches from her face. Sarah squeezed her eyes shut, bracing for the touch, for the unknown. But the touch never came. Instead, she heard a crash behind her. She opened her eyes to see her friends, their faces white with fear. Tom held a broken vase, which he must have dropped in his fright. The ghostly figure flickered, its form wavering, and then vanished. The glow disappeared, plunging them back into darkness. But the fear, the bone-chilling terror, lingered. Without a word, they ran. They didn't stop until they were out of the house, back into the stormy night. The rain had stopped and the clouds parted, revealing a full moon. They huddled together, catching their breath, the events of the night replaying in their minds. They were safe for now, but they knew deep down that they would never be the same. The haunted house had left its mark, a chilling reminder of the terror they had faced.